First contact's whisper. The quantum resonance chamber hummed with an energy that felt different, almost alive. Dr. Zara Novak's fingers hovered above the holographic display, her breath catching in her throat. The International Space Research Station's most advanced detection system was picking up something unprecedented. Zara had dedicated her entire career to searching for patterns in cosmic noise, but this was unlike anything she'd ever encountered. The signal wasn't random. It wasn't background radiation. It was deliberate. Director Rodriguez, she called into the communication link, her voice steady despite the electricity racing through her veins, "You need to see this." The station's main control room fell silent as the data streams cascaded across multiple screens. Commander Ethan Rodriguez approached, his weathered face a mask of professional calm, but Zara caught the slight tremor in his hand as he reached for the primary display. "Explain it to me," he said, his voice a low rumble that cut through the tension. Zara's fingers danced across the holographic interface, pulling up intricate wavelength patterns. "It's a quantum-encoded signal. The mathematical precision is impossible. Look at these harmonic resonances, they're too perfect to be natural." The signal defied every known principle of cosmic communication. It wasn't just a message, it was a complex mathematical symphony that seemed to bend the very laws of physics. Each pulse carried layers of information so intricate that it would take years to fully decode. "How long has this been coming in?" Rodriguez asked, his military training barely masking the excitement in his voice. "Approximately 47 minutes, Zara responded. "But it's been subtly modulating. Almost like, it's waiting for something." The quantum resonance chamber continued its low hum, a mechanical heartbeat that seemed to echo the anticipation filling the space station. Outside the reinforced windows, the vast darkness of space stretched infinitely, holding its breath. Zara knew they were standing at the precipice of something monumental. This wasn't just another signal. This was first contact, or something far more complex. "We need to inform the Global Science Consortium immediately," Rodriguez said, reaching for the secure communication panel. But Zara's hand stopped him. "Wait," she said, her eyes locked on the dancing quantum patterns. "If we alert them too quickly, we risk losing the nuance of this communication. This signal, it's studying us as much as we're studying it." The implications were staggering. Whatever was sending this signal was intelligent, perhaps more intelligent than humanity had ever imagined. It wasn't just reaching out. It was analyzing, calculating, preparing. As if in response to her thoughts, the quantum resonance chamber suddenly intensified. The harmonic frequencies shifted, creating a pattern that looked almost like a response, a cosmic conversation waiting to unfold. "We're not alone," Zara whispered, more to herself than to Rodriguez. "And they've been waiting a very long time to make contact." The space station continued its silent orbit, suspended between the known and the unimaginable. First contact wasn't coming. It was already here. The silence between stars. The global response was unlike anything in human history. Within hours of the quantum signal's detection, every major scientific institution was mobilized. The International Science Consortium transformed from a bureaucratic network into a razor-sharp instrument of collective human determination. Commander Ethan Rodriguez stood in the Global Response Center, a massive circular room where holographic displays from every continent flickered with data streams, satellite images, and complex algorithmic predictions. The room buzzed with a controlled intensity that spoke of humanity's most profound strength, its ability to unite in the face of the unknown. "We're looking at a signal that defies our current understanding of physics," Dr. Helena Reyes, the lead quantum theorist from Brazil's National Space Research Institute, explained to the assembled international team. Her holographic projection showed intricate mathematical models that seemed to dance and shift with an almost living quality. Rodriguez studied the faces around him, scientists, military strategists, diplomats from every corner of the globe. There was no panic, no chaos. Instead, a calculated resolve filled the room. "The signal appears to be a form of quantum communication," continued Dr. Reyes, "but it's more than just a message. It's a probe, a test of our technological capabilities. Zara Novak, now connected via a high-resolution video link from the International Space Research Station, added her analysis. It's responding to our attempts to decode it. Each time we approach a breakthrough, the signal subtly changes, almost like it's learning from our methods. The implications were staggering. This wasn't a simple transmission from an alien civilization. It was an intelligent system that was actively engaging with humanity, measuring their scientific and technological prowess. At a secondary console, a team of linguistic experts and mathematicians worked furiously. Dr. Klaus Werner from the European Quantum Communication Network had developed a revolutionary algorithm that could potentially translate the quantum patterns into comprehensible data. We're dealing with a communication method that exists beyond traditional language, Werner explained, his fingers flying across holographic interfaces. It's not about words. It's about fundamental mathematical principles that transcend cultural barriers. Rodriguez understood the stakes. This wasn't just a scientific discovery, it was a potential turning point for human civilization. If they could understand this signal, they might unlock technologies beyond their wildest imagination. Satellite networks across the planet were repositioned. Deep space monitoring stations went into overdrive. Every radio telescope, quantum sensor, and advanced detection system was now focused on understanding the mysterious transmission. We need to respond, insisted General Amara Okoro from the African Union Space Defense Command. But our response must be calculated. We can't appear aggressive, but we can't appear weak. The room fell silent. The weight of potentially representing the entire human species in first contact hung in the air. Zara's voice cut through the tension. We're being evaluated. Whatever is sending this signal wants to understand our potential, our capabilities. Our response needs to demonstrate our intelligence, our adaptability, our unique human spirit. As if in response to her words, the quantum signal pulsed again. This time, the pattern was different, more complex, more challenging. It was an invitation, a test, a cosmic chess move that challenged humanity to rise to the occasion. The silence between stars was about to be broken. And humanity would meet this moment with everything they had. Commander Rodriguez looked around the room, seeing not just colleagues, but representatives of human potential. Prepare our response, he said quietly. We're going to show them exactly who we are. Resonance of resistance. The first physical manifestation of the alien presence arrived without warning. Not with thundering spacecraft or dramatic explosions, but with a subtle quantum resonance that rippled through Earth's communication networks. Dr. Zara Novak watched in real time as massive holographic displays in the International Space Research Station transformed. What had been abstract mathematical patterns now coalesced into a semi-transparent form, a communication interface that defied traditional understanding of language or image. It's not a ship, Zara breathed into her communication link. It's a transmission matrix. A living communication system. The Global Response Team gathered in the World Communication Center watched in collective awe. The alien presence wasn't invading, it was integrating. Quantum packets of information began to interface with human technological systems, probing, analyzing, attempting to understand. Commander Ethan Rodriguez's voice cut through the tension. Defensive protocols, now. But do not, I repeat, do not show aggression. Dr. Klaus Werner's quantum translation algorithm went into overdrive. Fragments of meaning began to emerge, not words, but conceptual understanding. The alien communication was less about language and more about fundamental universal principles. It was studying humanity, measuring their technological and cognitive capabilities. They're testing us, Helena Reyes observed, her holographic projection zooming into the intricate quantum patterns. Like we're a complex experiment. The global scientific community responded with a coordinated effort that would have been impossible just decades earlier. Teams from Beijing, Nairobi, Sao Paulo, Moscow, and New Delhi worked in perfect synchronization, their collective intelligence creating a unified response. Zara discovered the first breakthrough. The quantum transmission wasn't just a message, it was a complex invitation. The aliens were offering a form of technological exchange, but with a catch. They wanted to understand humanity's potential, to test their adaptability, their technological sophistication. It's like a cosmic job interview, Zara explained to the assembled team. They're not here to conquer. They're here to evaluate. The quantum matrix began to shift, creating complex geometric patterns that integrated human technological signatures. Each national research center contributed unique technological fingerprints, a collective human technological DNA. General Amara Okoro from the African Union Space Defense Command remained vigilant. We respond with strength, but not aggression, she instructed the global defense networks. Show our capabilities, but not our vulnerabilities. Massive quantum computers around the world began working in concert, creating a unified response. It wasn't about military might or technological superiority. It was about demonstrating human creativity, adaptability, and collective intelligence. The alien transmission pulsed, a challenge, a test. Humanity's response would determine everything. Zara's fingers flew across her quantum interface. She began constructing a response that was quintessentially human, complex, unpredictable, bursting with potential. Mathematical algorithms danced with artistic representations, scientific precision intertwined with creative expression. We are not just a species, she muttered, working furiously. We are a civilization of infinite potential. The quantum matrix seemed to pause, as if processing this unprecedented response. For a moment, the entire world held its breath. Satellites hummed. Communication networks thrummed with anticipation. Commander Rodriguez approached Zara's workstation. Are we ready? He asked. Zara looked up, a fierce determination in her eyes. We were born ready. With a final keystroke, humanity's response launched into the cosmic quantum network, a declaration, a challenge, an invitation. The resonance of human resistance echoed through the stars. The cosmic interview had begun. Quantum Gambit. The world transformed overnight. What had begun as a mysterious quantum signal had become humanity's most significant technological challenge, and opportunity. Dr. Zara Novak stood at the heart of the Global Quantum Response Center, a massive facility built deep within the Swiss Alps. Around her, the most brilliant minds from every continent worked in perfect synchronization. The alien quantum matrix had become more than a communication attempt, it was a technological gauntlet. We're not just decoding, Zara explained to Commander Ethan Rodriguez, we're developing an entirely new technological paradigm. The breakthrough came from an unexpected collaboration. A team of quantum physicists from India, paired with nanotechnology experts from Japan, discovered a way to not just interpret the alien quantum signals, but to adapt them. They were essentially learning to speak the language of the universe itself. Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, leading the nanotechnology team, demonstrated the first practical application. A small device, no larger than a smartphone, could now interface directly with the quantum transmission, translating and redirecting its complex energy patterns. It's like we've developed a universal translator, Tanaka explained, but for fundamental physical laws. The global defense networks watched carefully. This wasn't about military might, but about understanding and adaptation. General Amara Okoro from the African Union Space Defense Command saw it as the ultimate defensive strategy, knowing before being known. Unexpected alliances formed. Tech companies that had been cutthroat competitors now worked together. Open-source platforms shared breakthroughs in real time. The quantum challenge had united humanity in a way no previous challenge ever had. We're rewriting the rules of technological engagement, Helena Reyes proclaimed during a global broadcast. Her holographic projection showed the intricate quantum networks humanity was now developing. This isn't just about responding to an alien presence. This is about expanding human potential. The quantum matrix continued its probing, but now humanity was pushing back. Each attempt to analyze human technology was met with an increasingly sophisticated response. It was a cosmic chess match, with humanity showing its most remarkable trait, adaptability. Zara discovered something profound. The alien quantum system wasn't just testing humanity, it was teaching. Each interaction was a lesson, a challenge designed to push human technological understanding to its limits. They're not here to conquer, she realized during a late-night strategy session. They're here to elevate. The breakthrough came during what the team called the Midnight Protocol. A distributed network of quantum computers, spanning continents, began to create something unprecedented. It wasn't just a response to the alien transmission. It was a new form of technological communication. Commander Rodriguez watched the data streams with a sense of awe. "We're learning to speak a language we didn't know existed," he muttered. The device developed by Tanaka's team became the key. Dubbed the quantum bridge, it could now not just interpret the alien signals but actually communicate back in their own complex mathematical language. During a critical moment, Zara input a sequence that was quintessentially human, a mathematical representation that combined scientific precision with creative unpredictability. It was a message that said, "We are here. We are ready. We are more than you expect." The quantum matrix pulsed. For the first time, there was a sense of something almost like respect coming through the transmission. Humanity had done more than survive. They had transformed the very nature of first contact. As the first light of dawn broke over the Global Quantum Response Center, Zara Novak allowed herself a small smile. The game had changed. And humanity was just getting started. Harmonic convergence. The final moment of first contact was nothing like anyone had predicted. It wasn't a dramatic invasion. It wasn't a hostile takeover. It was a conversation, a true meeting of minds that transcended physical boundaries. Dr. Zara Novak stood at the center of the Global Quantum Response Center, her hands hovering over the quantum bridge device. Commander Ethan Rodriguez watched from nearby, the weight of human history pressing down on both of them. The quantum matrix had transformed. What had begun as an incomprehensible signal was now a complex dialogue, a meeting of two civilizations at the fundamental level of understanding. "We're not just communicating," Zara breathed, her eyes reflecting the intricate holographic displays, "we're merging perspectives." The global scientific community watched in collective awe. The alien presence, which they now understood was more of an exploratory intelligence than a singular species, had been testing humanity's potential. And humanity had exceeded every expectation. Dr. Klaus Werner's quantum translation algorithms had evolved into something miraculous. They were no longer just translating, they were facilitating a genuine exchange of knowledge. Technological principles, scientific understanding, philosophical concepts flowed between humanity and the quantum intelligence in a way that defied previous understanding of communication. General Amara Okoro, who had maintained a vigilant defensive posture throughout the encounter, now understood the true nature of the interaction. "This isn't first contact," she stated during a global broadcast. "This is first understanding." The breakthrough came in a moment of profound simplicity. Zara realized that the quantum intelligence was seeking something fundamentally human, not our technology, not our scientific achievements, but our capacity for hope, creativity, and unexpected connection. The quantum bridge began to pulse with a rhythm that was part mathematical precision, part pure human emotion. It translated humanity's most complex attribute, our ability to imagine, to dream, to push beyond known boundaries. "We're showing them who we really are," Helena Reyes commented, watching the data streams. "Not just our achievements, but our potential." Global networks lit up. Every research center, every university, every technological hub became part of a massive, unified response. It wasn't a single message, but a collective expression of human possibility. Commander Rodriguez approached Zara, his hand resting on the quantum bridge. "Are we ready?" he asked. Zara smiled, a smile that captured the essence of human determination. "We were born ready." The final transmission was unlike any communication in human history. It wasn't a message of conquest or submission. It was an invitation, a promise of partnership, of shared exploration, of mutual growth. The quantum matrix responded. And in that response, humanity recognized something profound: they were not alone in the universe, but they were uniquely, wonderfully themselves. Cities around the world erupted in celebration. But it wasn't a victory over an alien threat. It was a celebration of human potential, of our ability to face the unknown with curiosity, intelligence, and hope. We are humanity, the quantum bridge transmitted. And we are ready to explore. The universe listened. And for the first time, it responded not with silence, but with understanding. As the first light of a new era broke across the planet, Dr. Zara Novak looked out over the Global Quantum Response Center. Humanity had just taken its first true step into a larger cosmic community. And they had done it exactly as they always had, with determination, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit of discovery.